Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please hit the subscribe. Now this start video. In the world of Chicago Fire, it's not unusual for an episode to be more about setting up future storylines than offering a standalone memorable experience. Season 13, Episode 6, titled Birds of Prey, is one such installment. While it might not be one of the more unforgettable episodes in the series' history, it serves a crucial role in advancing a key subplot, particularly involving Kelly Severide and Chief Dom Pascal. The episode also provides some much-needed character development for Pascal, making his presence in Firehouse 51 feel more relevant than it has been up until now. Birds of Prey centers around a fire that breaks out at a storage facility. When Firehouse 51 arrives at the scene, they discover several storage units containing 3D printed firearms. This leads to an investigation by the Illinois State Police, creating friction between the local firehouse and law enforcement. In typical Chicago Fire fashion, this type of territorial tension provides a familiar backdrop. But what makes this particular story stand out is the chemistry between Kelly Severide, Taylor Kinney, and Chief Dom Pascal, Dermot Mulroney. The episode delves deeper into Pascal's character, setting him up as more than just a new figurehead in the firehouse. Taylor Kinney, who plays Severide, has always brought a sense of unwavering determination to his character. It's his conviction that drives the story, especially in the face of external challenges. Severide's character is at his best when he's going up against bureaucratic or institutional opposition, and Kinney's portrayal makes it easy for viewers to root for him, no matter who the antagonist may be. This particular case, involving the potential corruption of an Illinois State Police officer, places Severide in the familiar role of the determined firefighter fighting against the odds. But this time, he is not alone. Chief Pascal, who has been struggling to find his footing in the firehouse, is thrust into the action, becoming an unlikely but effective ally to Severide. One of the most interesting aspects of Birds of Prey is the evolution of Chief Pascal. At the start of his tenure in Chicago Fire, Pascal seemed like just another addition to the team, someone who would fill a temporary gap left by the departure of a former chief. However, as the season progresses, it becomes clear that Pascal is more than just a replacement. His alliance with Severide marks a pivotal moment in the development of his character. Pascal, played by Dermot Mulroney, is presented with an opportunity to prove his loyalty to Firehouse 51. Initially, Severide harbors suspicions about Pascal's integrity, especially when it comes to a shady connection he might have with the corrupt police officer involved in the investigation. This element of the story, while familiar in procedural dramas, gives Mulroney a chance to showcase a different side of Pascal. Instead of being a passive observer, Pascal is forced to make decisions that could have serious consequences for both his career and his relationship with Firehouse 51. Pascal's professional history, particularly his past in Miami, comes into play, adding depth to his character. Rather than simply being a figurehead, Pascal's complicated background, exemplified by his experience with a corrupt colleague, adds complexity to his character arc. This storyline allows him to rise above the typical new guy trope and positions him as a capable leader who is willing to put his career on the line to support Severide and the firehouse. For viewers who have been waiting to see more of Chief Pascal's motivations and backstory, this episode delivers. The dynamic between Severide and Pascal is still developing, but there is real potential for their partnership to become a significant part of the series. Whether Pascal remains a long-term character or not, his role in Birds of Prey positions him as an important figure in the larger narrative of Season 13. While the central story of Birds of Prey offers some exciting character development and tension, the episode struggles in other areas, particularly with its subplots. Chicago Fire has often relied on secondary storylines to balance the more intense moments of the primary plot. But in this episode, those subplots feel more like filler than integral parts of the narrative. One such subplot involves Mouch, Christian Stolt, being harassed by a bird that has taken up residence at Firehouse 51. While the scene is amusing, it doesn't add much to the overall story. Mouch's antics have always been a source of comic relief, but after so many seasons, the jokes feel a bit played out. The subplot, while entertaining in its absurdity, feels like it was included simply to give Mouch something to do, rather than contributing meaningfully to the larger story. Additionally, Sam Carver, Jake Lockett, continues to display erratic behavior, which eventually leads to Stella Kidd, Miranda Ray Mayo, sending him home from a shift. While Carver's emotional struggles have been a significant part of his character arc this season, his brooding attitude is starting to wear thin. Lockett has played the brooding, tortured character long enough that the novelty has begun to fade. The storyline of Carver being sent home may be a turning point for him, but it's unclear how the writers plan to resolve his issues, particularly with Violet Mikami, Hanako Greensmith, who has also become a key part of his storyline. While some might enjoy the ongoing drama between Carver and Violet, it feels like the show is spinning its wheels with their unresolved dynamic. If the writers don't take the time to develop Carver's character arc and resolve the tension between him and Violet, it could feel like a missed opportunity. Even Stella Kidd, who is typically a strong presence in the Firehouse, feels somewhat sidelined in this episode. While her suggestion to find a replacement for Carver could open the door for new character dynamics, it remains to be seen whether the show will follow through on this plotline, or simply move on without addressing it fully. Despite its uneven subplots, Birds of Prey does succeed in laying the groundwork for future episodes. As the season progresses, it's clear that Chief Pascal's evolving relationship with Severide will be a key narrative thread. The two are already proving to be a formidable team, and if Pascal continues to back Severide in the investigation, he could become a permanent ally in the Firehouse. The subplot with Carver and Violet, though lacking resolution in this episode, could be revisited and further explored in the coming episodes. Fans of Chicago Fire have long invested in the relationships between the characters, and if Carver's issues are resolved satisfyingly, it could have lasting effects on the team's dynamics. Ultimately, Birds of Prey is an episode that serves a purpose in the larger narrative of Season 13. While it doesn't offer much in terms of standalone excitement or resolution, it does set the stage for future developments, particularly about Severide and Pascal's evolving partnership. The episode's main strength lies in its ability to deepen Pascal's character and solidify his place in the Firehouse, even if the rest of the episode's subplots fall a bit flat. The key takeaway from Chicago Fire Season 13, Episode 6, is that while the episode doesn't necessarily stand out in terms of excitement or memorable moments, it does play a crucial role in shaping the season's trajectory. The growth of Chief Pascal's character, paired with Severide's leadership, introduces a promising dynamic that could evolve into one of the most engaging elements of the season. Their partnership, marked by mutual stubbornness and determination, hints at exciting future developments, making this episode more of a necessary stepping stone than a standalone success. However, the episode's inability to fully capitalize on its secondary storylines leaves some fans wanting more. While the Mouch subplot may elicit a few chuckles, it doesn't contribute meaningfully to the broader narrative. Carver's ongoing emotional struggle, too, feels somewhat stagnant, and the resolution to his storyline feels far from certain. As the season continues, it will be important for Chicago Fire to ensure that these subplots aren't simply used as filler, but are integrated into the larger narrative in a way that feels rewarding. Still, Episode 6 lays the foundation for important relationships and future plot points, making it a crucial part of the evolving Season 13 story. In the grand scheme of Chicago Fire, Season 13, Episode 6 is a mixed bag. While Taylor Kinney and Dermot Mulroney shine in their performances, and the central storyline involving Severide and Pascal is engaging, the subplots fail to reach the same level of intensity or relevance. The show's comedic relief, primarily through Mouch and his bird-related antics, feels like filler, and Carver's ongoing personal struggles start to feel repetitive. That being said, Birds of Prey is far from a throwaway episode. It lays important groundwork for future storylines and offers valuable character development, particularly for Chief Pascal. Suppose the writers can continue to build on these developments in the next few episodes. In that case, this episode will have pushed the story forward, even if it didn't fully capitalize on all its potential.